So this is the last video here on surface area, and it's on spheres. And just like the volume formula for spheres, all you need is the radius. There's really nothing else you need. And here's, oh, I have volume there. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice. Let me fix that. On your notes it says V right there when it should say surface area. So let's go ahead and fix that. Oh, that messed everything up. It's alright. There we go. So it should be surface area. Okay, so the surface area of a sphere, all we have to do is plug in for R. Okay, so we're not going to look at those three formulas on top, the circle, the triangle, the right. I don't need any of that. I can go right to the surface area formula for a sphere. So find the surface area of a sphere that has a radius of 13 feet. So all I need to do is take 4 pi times 13 squared. That's it. Plug that into your calculator, and you should get 2123.7. And this is feet, so it's feet squared. And again, I'm using calculator pi, so if you're using 3.14, it might be a little bit different. But that's really it. So the next one, now it's asking diameter. But we know if diameter is 10, then that means the radius is 5. So again, we just go right to our surface area formula. You don't need to look at anything else. So 4 pi times 5 squared. Plug that into your calculator, and you get 314.2, and this is in meters. So we're just plugging into the formula. Spheres are very simple. Don't look at that circle formula. That circle formula on your formula sheet is just for you to find the bases of cones and cylinders. That is not to be used with spheres. Okay? The circle formula will never be used with a sphere. Now, hemispheres are a little bit different. With volume, it was simple. All we had to do was find the volume and cut it in half. But surface area of a hemisphere presents a little bit trickier of a solution. So I'm going to try my best to draw a hemisphere. Oh, that's not that great. But, okay, so a radius that has 4 yards. So if I go to my surface area formula of a sphere, now think of that, okay? If I was going to take a solid ball, okay, and cut it in half, or think of it this way, if I were going to take that solid ball and paint it, I was going to paint the whole thing green, and then I cut it in half. Well, this part along the bottom would not be colored green. So even though I'm going to find the surface area here, 4 pi r squared, so that'll be 4 pi times 4 squared, that's going to give me, let's see, that's going to give me 201.0619 and so forth. I am going to cut that in half because it is a hemisphere and I only want half of it. So that's going to be 100.53096. However, think of the bottom there. That circle was not painted in the original sphere. So when I cut that sphere in half, the outside dome part is counted here. That's just the outside dome part. I have to think of the bottom, the base. So I do have to just do a plain old circle, which is 50.2654, and I'm going to add that to this. And that gives me 150.8 square yards. So for a sphere, all you have to do is plug into the formula. For a hemisphere, you're going to plug into the formula to get half of it, but that's just the dome part. And I can even write this here. So we know this part is just the dome part of it, and this over here is the base. It's the circle on the bottom. So this gives me the area of the dome, where this gives me the area of the base underneath, and that gives me the whole outer surface area. So we're going to try one more just like that. So again, now I have my hemisphere here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the area, surface area of the entire sphere. So it's 4 pi times 7 squared. So that gives me 615.7521. Cut that in half, and that gives me 307.876. Now that's just the dome part. To get the base, I have to do just a plain old circle. Pi times 7 squared, and that's going to be 153.938. So then to get the total, I'm going to add those together. And that gives me 461.8. So again, this here was the dome. This here is the base. And then we just add them together to get our total surface area. So I know that's a little bit tricky with hemispheres. The whole sphere is much easier. You just plug into the formula. So if you have any questions about spheres or hemispheres, don't hesitate to ask, or you can watch the video again if you need to.